Next, we have the profiles. We have your profiles. So here, of course, you can come over here, and as you see, I have on my profile. So let's use my profile as, for example, I'm gonna click this one right here, my test profile, and I'm gonna edit that. So the profile name is test. Here we have, everything here. You input your first, last name, your address, your city, state, zip code, country, your email, phone number. You come over to payment, and then you of course fill out all your information, things like that. But one thing you can actually do, if you have a privacy account, you can come over to privacy and you can input your login details. I can't do this right now because my proxies are outdated for my Captcha, so I have to get those updated. That's why I'm not receiving Captcha, but you'll do the Captcha and then you'll be able to log in and see. Matter of fact, hold on, let me do that real quick, you guys. Let me get that situated. So alright, so I just went ahead and changed some things around, so let's try to sign back into privacy again and see what happens. Alright, there we go. Now we're receiving Captcha. Boom, there we go. Please don't take all my one clicks, please. Alright, so you'll see now that I'm logged in, because I had those Captchas solved. You'll see all of my available cars that I have. So right now I have Haha, Type 19, Burner 1, B2, Type 17, Type 18, and Allen Burner 4. So what I'll do is, if I want to, I can select one of these cards and that'll be used automatically for my payment. So I don't have to input no payment or anything like that. I can just select that and then boom, I'm done. And also what you can do is, if you want to have a new card, so let's say for example we'll have a card called LOL, we'll set it to a burner, we'll put the limit to $200 and click add. Boom, we have a new card, LOL. And we just made that literally in seconds, you guys. So this right here, if you have a privacy account, is super duper convenient, and it literally takes time off of setting up new profiles and things like that. And I always use this because why not? You just press the easy button on this, you guys, if you have a privacy. Don't get me now, if you don't, I feel for those guys who are in Canada and things like that, in different countries who don't necessarily have privacy. I feel for you guys though. It's not a bad process inputting your car's manual. I did it all the time. But heading back over to the sizing now, we're gonna head to sizing. So here, if you want to have profile based sizing, so let's say you have a personal profile that you use that only runs tasks for personals. So if you run like if you wear a size 11.5, you'll set that to a size 11.5. So when you set that to a size 11.5 for this profile in particular, it's gonna do nothing but run tasks for a size and look for items in the size 11.5 only. That's all it's gonna do. But this is only when we have profile based sizing checked. I don't typically do that because, like I said before, I always have mine set to random, unless I have I have a customer or whoever who wants a specific size. Then that's when I'll go ahead and try to check out that specific size for them. That's only when I do that though. But you guys always make sure to have one checkout per site checked at all times. I don't care. Always make sure to have this checked off, because if you checked off, but I always make sure to have it checked, because when you have it checked, it reassures you that if you cop on the same profile by mistake, both of those, I'm just letting you guys know right now, if you accidentally cop on the same profile, no matter what you do, you can please email them right after the drop and things like that. You're gonna get axed. Both of those orders are getting axed. So to prevent that, always make sure you always have this checkbox checked on to one checkout per site, no matter what. Always have that checked out. Checked. What the heck? Always make sure you have that checked, because if you don't, it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt if you actually end up doing extremely well on a certain drop. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it for editing a task. Now, for shipping, only reason it's not available is because I have the same shipping and billing info, so it's gonna have the same information right here. But if I ever want to change something from here that's different from here, that's different from here, that's different from here, I can always do that. But I don't really have anything different to change, so I always have the same billing and shipping information saved. I had to always have that checked off as well, so it saves me time and I don't have to input all the information again. So yep, that's it for that right there. So we have that for the test profile. Now I just went over edit. I just chose my test profile to go over and edit. But obviously, you know, you do everything that I just went over for, you know, of course, putting in a new profile and things like that. You know, you'll go ahead and fill all this in and things like that, you know, like you would any other bot, right? You know, or something that you use. You know, you fill in all your credentials and information and stuff like that, and there you'll have your new profile. So of course, you know, you can edit how it went over. You can also delete your profile easily, you know, just by clicking it and edit and deleting it. Now I could actually, but I'm not gonna do it. I was about to delete my tab. I'm in my profiles, but I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. But you can also delete your profiles. All right, so then of course we have the duplicate profile. So if you want to duplicate a profile, you can do that by clicking it, then of course selecting dupe profile. And of course, like before, let me export these tabs. My profiles real quick. So I actually already have them exported. I forgot I did that. So what you'll do is you can also, like before, with the same with the task section, you can import and exporting, which can save your profiles, and then you'll come here and import them. So we have right here, I'm gonna come here, my E profile, select that, and then we're just gonna select import. And now you check, you'll see we have double the profiles, but they're the same exact profiles, because these are profiles that I saved. I exported them, then I imported them. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete those real quick. Let me see. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna click delete. Really? Delete the selected profiles, of course. So now we have that. Simple as 1, 2, 3, and of course I already went over privacy. Well, no, I'm sorry. This actually goes a little bit more in depth with privacy. So this is the privacy manager right here. So right here, of course, you'll click this on, and you will input your credentials to log into privacy. And then for Captcha, of course, for me personally, I do manual because I don't have 2 Captcha and I don't have anti-captcha or image typers readily available. I don't have any of those services because they cost money and things like that. And I don't have money to be just given to them for anything or any type of reason right now. So I always just do mine manually, and then it'll show you your, you know what, let me just go ahead and click that on for you guys real quick, and you guys will see all of these right here. So what this will do is it'll show you all your available cards that you have, and of course, like I said before, it'll make new cards how I just did before in the profile section of the privacy section. So it's pretty much the same thing, just it's the full manager of it where you can use to log in and things like that. So that's the privacy section. And then here we have groups. So if you ever have a group and you want to run a group of profiles like I have the DC Club. But if you want to actually create like a group of profiles that you would like to run, for example, like if anything shock drops or anything like that, and you want your remote task to run however many profiles, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so if you want to have a group profile, like if you want to set a group for, let's say, 3 or 4 profiles, what you do is you'll come over to groups, and then you'll double click this area right here, and let's call it yo. So you'll save that. So now when you're editing profiles, let's say I want to edit test again. Let's edit test. Go over to edit, and we'll put it in a group. We'll put it in the yo group, and let's say I want to also go ahead and put type 4 in there as well. So we'll come over here, we'll go over to yo, and we'll have that. So now, as we see when we go to groups, we'll have 2 profiles saved into the yo group the group profile group. This is extremely convenient because what it does is, if you want to run more than one profile for a specific drop that shock drops, and you want to run quick tasks, you can just have that group already selected. And even the same thing for if you just want to save time when you're creating tasks, you have profile groups. So you'll use your profile groups. So instead of just running for setting up for every individual task, you have your profile groups there. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty convenient, not gonna lie. It's super duper convenient actually. So now what we'll do is, matter of fact, hold on, and I'm sorry guys, hold on. One minor correction real quick. When you want to delete your profiles, you hold shift, and then you will select them like so, like that, and then come to delete, and that'll mass delete them like that. All right, so now we're all good. We're all good in the game now. And last but not least for this section, we have login pools. Login pools has without a doubt got to be one of the most crucial things for me, because without this, I would not be able to cop on websites like Undefeated and Concept that require shipping. What the heck am I talking about? That require logins. So for me, you want to come to whatever site you want to use, and let's say I want to do it for Martian Toys. And what you'll do is you'll input the format like this, how it says username and password with the colon. So let's say it'll be LOL ha 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 ha. Screw that up. Ha 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 at AOL.com. And then you'll input a colon, and let's say the password is, that's the password. So you'll save that. So whenever you want to go and set up a task for that specific site, it'll pop up in the login pool for you to be able to use readily without having to actually go back and type it in again. So I think that's super duper convenient, and it's also used for things like shock drops, and when things drop out of the blue and you don't have enough time to actually go back and use your task and run it with a particular login, it'll just pull from the login pool automatically and log that in, and it does it in chronological order, so it doesn't just keep on using the same login again, which I think is super duper dope. So that's another reason why I would say, in my opinion, why it would be great to have logins already inputted into the login pool. But yeah, you guys, that's the login pool right there, and this is the profile section. Here we have notifications. So here, if you want to receive Twitter notifications, you'll want to put in everything, put in the criteria and things that you need here. I don't use it personally, so yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that. Same for Slack. You're going to come over here, what type of notification you want to receive, whether it be a restock, add to cart, checkout, PayPal, anything like that. You'll do that. And then of course you have, I think it's pretty cool, you have an SMS, so you'll receive a text message whenever something checks out, which I think is super duper dope. And you can even type a message right here for it, but I don't do that personally because I think it's a site that does that, and it only costs like a few cents, which isn't that bad, but a few cents I can use towards something else. So I don't really mess with that as well. But if you want to, go ahead. I'm not discouraging anyone to do that. It's there for a reason for you to use, so use it. I mean, it's not there to take up space. But here's what I use personally. I use the Discord notification webhook. So you'll come over to the checkout, and I have mine set to checkout just because it's just what it's set to checkout. You can set it to whatever type you want. If you want it for a restock, add to cart, checkout, PayPal, like I said before. As you can see, you guys, here I have my message right here. So I got dynamic C cook. And then here you'll see I have, and with everything you do, you always want to put a pound sign between it, so that way, I guess, it's the format that it uses in order to format everything when you receive your Discord messages and things like that. So this is how I have mine set up like this. So whenever I check out something, this is how it'll look. Now Captcha. So for Captcha here, you'll see you have the ability to name them. So I have this as DC Captcha, this DC Captcha, and then we have DC Captcha 2. Then you can set a particular proxy list if you want to. And let's say for this, I'm gonna use Captcha Proxy 1, but like I said earlier, all these proxies are old and done. They're worn out. I can't use them anymore. So I'm just gonna use my local IP for the time being and do that like that. So, and you always want to make sure you have them enabled as well, because if you don't, you won't be able to edit anything. You can't do anything. So always make sure you have it enabled. So when you have it enabled, boom, there you go, pop straight up. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn that back up because I do not need it right now. Now for the proxy list, you guys, always make sure that you're using residential. In my case, I like to use residential static IPs, so that way, and I always try to make sure to use the same exact IP. So I always try to make sure I keep up with whatever account I'm using, whatever Gmail account I'm using, and the residential IP address I'm using for that one. So that way it's always in the same area. It's not jumping from place to place because I'm always using different IPs and things like that. And I mean, what different proxies? I'm sorry, guys. Different proxies and things. I mean, it's the same difference, but still. So that way, I'm not using different proxies and things like that. And it, you know, it looks suspicious to Google. Like, how is he in this place and then this place and then this place? So that's just what I like to do personally. And that also, so you know, it won't notice any particular suspicious activity. And that way, you know, I'm able to generate one-clicks more often and things like that. So if you don't have a bot, a Captcha bot that allows you to run your Gmail accounts, so you can generate one-clicks more often and in bigger amounts, then what I would do is I would just run YouTube. I would just open up the open up the Captcha solver, go to browser, and then I would head over to YouTube. So let's log in Gmail. I would head over to YouTube and I would just watch videos 24/7, you guys. I would watch videos 24/7 because that's the way you're gonna generate one-clicks the most, is by watching YouTube videos. At least in my opinion anyways. Like before I had any type of Captcha bot or anything like that, I always watched YouTube 24/7, and I used to always generate plenty of Captcha by doing that. So if you don't have one, don't get discouraged right now. Just, you know, stay on the YouTube grind and watching videos. You can even have some. So let's say a 10 hour songs or 10-hour fireplace. You can do that. You can just watch it for 10 hours, and then once it ends, you can just replay it or set it to a different video. So that way you're not just watching the same thing over and over again. But that's what I do personally if you guys do not have a Captcha bot. So that's pretty much it for Captcha, you guys. I mean, let me make sure I haven't skipped anything. And of course, always make sure to clear your Captcha/IP if you want to. I haven't done that quite yet, but it's always good to do that. So whenever you want, you want to put in a different proxy or things like that, you just go ahead and clear that, input the different proxy, and log in and all that good stuff again, and boom. So here if you have things like to Captcha and things like that, you're able to check your balance, how much money you have. Same for anti-Captcha, and the same for image typers, but instead of putting in API keys like for these two services, you have to put in actual username and password to use, and this way you can check your balance. So if you have enough money to be able to have them solve captchas and things like that for you, then you'll check, and if not, you can go and just put some money into your account or whatever service you're using, and you'll be right back on the ball again. Not too much going on. So here we have the proxy list. All right, so if you want to add a proxy list here, what you can do is you can import them, or of course you download them, then you can import them directly into the proxy list, or you can do what I do is I'll just paste it automatically. So boom, I have those pasted, then I can name it whatever I want to. So I have this name to, let's say, lit. So that's lit, and what I'll do is I'll just save that. And of course you can always test, to make sure your proxies are working and everything, make sure the speeds are great. So you can always run like kith.com or whatever site you want to use, and then save, or I'm sorry, not save, but you can test it, start the test, and also stop the test. Here, this is where, now typically I've heard before with Eve, you do not want to have the log section going during an actual drop because it'll cause the bot to freeze and things like that. So what I'll do is if I need to look at my logs, I'll go, let's head over to the dashboard section again. I'll right click on it, then I'll go to the log of it itself and do it that way instead of going and having this whole section going right here, because that'll cause performance deficiencies within the bot during an actual drop. So that's just a safe alternative to it. Now, as you notice, let me go back and do that again. Now, as you can see, here are my logs right here. And of course you can either refresh them, but I don't have anything to refresh because the task is stopped, or you can clear them. I'm gonna exit out of it right now. So yeah, that's sort of an alternative I would do instead of having this section just going, because it'll cause some discrepancies that I'm sure you guys would not want during a drop. So here you can of course check for whatever version you want, check for an update, make sure you're all good, and the bot will, once you check for an update, it'll auto update itself and it should reopen back up. And here, deactivate, here you can deactivate your key. If you want to move it to another location, whether it be your local IP or another server, you can do that as well. And here we have one checkout for site reset. I don't really mess with this too often. I just always make sure to leave that alone the majority of the times. That's just me personally. I mean, that's just what I do. And then here we have the Shopify Smart Schedule. So what this is meant to do is it's meant to help you bypass queues and things like that. So if you want to have it enabled and have a head start of, let's say, 30 minutes or an hour, you would have that set to 30 minutes. So the task would start 30 minutes before the drop at, let's say, 11 o'clock or something like that. Then 10 minutes at 10:59, 10 minutes before the drop. So at 10:59, 50 seconds, the task, they will start back up again. And from that point on, it should be able to bypass the queue. But for me personally, even though this is a great feature right here, what I do is myself, I start monitoring way ahead of time. Like I said before, guys, I turn my retry delay up to 10,000, and I'll just keep that going for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. And then right before the product drops, that's when I'll lower it down to my desired delay, and then we're gonna aim and see what is going on and see what's popping. All right, and that's the Shopify Smart Schedule though. It's meant to help you bypass queues though. That's exactly what it's meant to do though. Next we have the quick task settings. So this is how you saw before in the dashboard area, how I had my quick task and things like that, and I had everything already predefined, so I don't have to really mess with anything like that. I did everything mainly here, so you can always mess with it. Even here, of course, you can always change things around, but this is where I mainly mess with my quick task settings. So how I said before, how I have it set to DC Club, and I have my default proxy list, this Captcha. I mean, this is what I call it, Captcha. And then you have your default checkout proxy list. Like I said before, I always typically leave that blank for the most part. It'll just choose a random proxy to check out with. That's just what I do personally. Now you guys see right here, for me personally, now don't do this. This is dangerous if you don't have a lot of proxies. But for my retry delay, I have it set to 250. Yes, to 250. So no matter what's going on, it's gonna keep on trying to pick up whatever product or whatever's going on. Now 250 is extremely fast, and it will get you banned extremely fast as well too. So make sure you have a substantial amount of proxies to support that super low delay that you're gonna run. Or if you want to, you can have it set from a range of 2 intervals that will make you feel more comfortable. But of course, like I said before, we have sizing and things like that. So if you want to go for a particular size or sizes, you can come here and set it to those, and it'll do that. And here is the auto paste feature that I talked about earlier in the video. So what you'll do is you'll enable it. So whenever you have something copy, it'll automatically paste it into whatever section or whatever you want it to go. So you don't have to worry about trying to waste half a second or a second trying to actually input it manually yourself, which I think is cool and super convenient because it literally shaves off half a second or a second or a full second. So that's extremely convenient in my opinion, and I always have it checked no matter what. And here we have the Shopify payment resubmissions. Like I said, I always set mine to 3, but you can set it, I think the max right now is 6. It'll retry up to 6 times, and then after that, that's when it'll stop altogether. But I set mine to a max of 3 personally myself, and then that's when it'll stop. So here, like I said before, well, I haven't said it before, we have the automatic log cleaner. So every however long, if you want to set it to clean a log, let's say every 5 minutes, it'll go and wipe the logs clean and everything like that. But I don't really mess with this feature too much because, like I said before, I don't really too much mess with my log section too often. So I always have that disabled. And here, you have your sound notification. So if you want your bot to notify you by a sound or anything, bling or whatever sound when it's carded, when Captcha's loaded, you can have that. Or if a product is added to cart, or if you checked out a product, it'll have a sound there to let you know that, hey, I'm on this step, I'm opening PayPal or I'm checked out, the product is fully checked out, you're all good, you now have officially achieved success and things like that. But I'm on a server, so I don't really have a sound drive on this server, so I won't be able to hear anything, so I just leave them checked off anyways, because I can't hear anything regardless of the fact. Now, if I was on, let's say, my local IP on my actual desktop, like, then I would have it enabled so I can hear everything that's going on. So I know, oh, okay, all right, I just checked out, boom, I just heard that sound or whatever's going on. And here we have the master negative keyword. So like I said before, you guys, if you want to input things like GS or infant or NRG, and these would be like, and don't use these, these are just examples. So if you want to use these for things within the when you're setting up your tasks and things like that, and how you had the, let's go back here, and how you had the include the master negative keywords, you would just have the master negative keywords check, so you don't have to worry about always going back and inputting the same negative keywords over and over again, because you have them saved over here all ready to go. But I don't really have, matter of fact, I'm gonna do this right now. The only negative keyword I know that's crucial, that screws me up, is NRG, because that freaking off-white t-shirt kills me. So that's the only negative keyword, and I'm just gonna keep that in the bot for right now, forever. So that's gonna be there. All right, so next we have a light mode and a dark mode. So pick your poison. Both look great in my opinion. If the light mode strains your eyes, and of course change it to the dark mode, both of them look pleasing to the eye in my opinion though. So hey, pick your poison. And then of course, if you want to, you can close, you know, any task window. So if you know, if you want to save a task or something like that. So for example, let's say I come over here and I hit edit task and I hit save. Oops. Let's see, test. That way it'll close the window automatically instead of still being open. It'll do that automatically. But I always have that, no, screw it, I should have that enabled because it's convenient. Why not have it checked? So it's checked. You guys to use it. It's convenient. It's very convenient. All right, so here we have import and export settings. So for example, if you're moving your bot to a different server or to your local IP, you can export your settings and then import them back into the bot once you're over on your new server location or whatever. So you don't have to go through setting up not setting up your location, but setting up your settings and things like that again. It'll automatically be input into the bot already, which is super duper convenient and can save you time when just setting up the bot to how you like it again. You already have everything already set for you. So here we have the open log location and things like that. So this is super convenient because it'll take you right to where Eve is located. So you go to EveAIO location, it'll take you directly to where Eve is located. So you'll know exactly where it's at. I mean, you know, if you're ever just curious to see where it's at, you can do that. And you can also open the log location so you see where your logs are at. This is also super convenient, guys, because some bots have it where you have to go to percent local app data and local app data and things like that, and go that and do all that stuff to get your logs. But Eve just takes you directly to them. If you want to, you know, send your logs to the devs or something like that, to the developers, they make it super duper easy by just opening them from the settings section. All right, but this is the settings section, you guys. It's right here. If you want to use the Supreme image picker, so this is mainly used when Supreme will mess with their keywords and things like that. So once you select your proxy list and things like that, you can open it up. Then from there, it'll take you to the new category of the Supreme page, of the Supreme website. Then you can go from there. You can pick whatever product you want, click on it, and then click the task and click assign and start. And then from there, you can do it that way. We have the remote quit task monitor. So let me go ahead and turn this on for you guys. When it's red like this, it's disconnected. So just hit connect and you'll be all connected now. So for me personally, guys, I used this and it worked like a charm when I was trying to get the Jordan 1 Defined Couture undefeated. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna show you guys a demonstration of it. it worked like a charm when I was going for the Jordan 1 Couture Undefeated, because what I did was in my group that I'm in, they support Eve Quick Task. So as soon as the Undefeated dropped them, I went straight into Discord, selected Eve. I used it. So you guys, this quick task monitor, remote quick task monitor, it's crucial. It's crucial, and I'm not saying you need it, but it's definitely it's no joke, you guys. It's great. It actually works. I copped 2 pair off the Jordan Defy 1 restock from Undefeated earlier this week, and unfortunately one of them got canceled, but still I managed to do that, and it's all because of this remote quick task monitor, which works like no tomorrow, you guys. But always, it may be, some of you guys may not like that too often, but for me personally, I like to have auto start task on. So whenever you're on your phone or whatever, and you click the link inside your monitor or Discord or a click group to transfer the task from your phone over to Eve, it'll start those tasks automatically. Because if you're not at your computer or whatever, it sort of defeats the purpose of having a remote task monitor. But you still got to be careful though, guys, because if you click on the wrong monitor, the wrong item, and you have auto start task checked or turned on or enabled, you're gonna be checking out some bricks or something else you're not gonna like. So just always be sure to be careful with that, and always make sure you're watching your fingers when scrolling on your phone. But so let's say I want to use this product right here, and I want to make a new shipping for my profile. Let's call it Yo, and this is going to be for the website of Undefeated. And I want that for my type profile. What it's gonna do is, all you gotta do is click get shipping rate, processing. And then when it's done, you'll see we have it right here. We have the Yo Undefeated shipping rate. If you wanna go to our task and edit it, you'll see we have the shipping profile of Yo. So now we can use Yo if you want to. And what they'll do is when we're trying to check out or to bypass the shipping altogether, because it already has it already predetermined, because we went through that little extra step, and boom, we have more of a chance of trying to check out whatever item we're trying to get. So yeah, you guys, that's it for the shipping, Shopify Shipping Manager. Now this knowledge base right here, I don't too much really mess with that. I don't mess with it at all, honestly. I just leave that how it is. It's doing this thing, so I'm gonna let it keep on doing this thing. And hey, just do this thing. Hey, stay up and do whatever you're doing, 'cause I'm not messing with it. So if I'm not messing with it, if you guys want to, you guys can mess with it, but I'm gonna leave it alone for the time being. We have the initialization session. So this is meant to help queue go by quicker. But the thing is, when you're increasing it, the more you increase it, the more proxy you used to have to support it. Developers, they'll say, if you don't know what you're doing, just leave this feature alone. But if you do know what you're doing, you can just go ahead and, let's say you have 100 proxies or 30 proxies or whatever, you can go ahead and set this to a comfortable amount of number that you're fine with, and then you'll do that, because all this is meant to do is it's help to get you through the queue quicker. The only reason you need a lot of proxies for it though is to prevent bans and things like that, IP bans. So always make sure you have enough proxies with this for you guys. And if you guys aren't comfortable with using it, don't use it, because it's there to help you, but if you don't have the resources there to support it, then don't use it. But yeah, you guys, this has been the Eve all-in-one review. I really hope I covered all bases. If you guys ever have any questions, of course, you can always ask me either in the comment section or you can DM me on Twitter. I actually changed my Twitter handle recently to @ApexBoom_. Finally. How is my name on here, Apex Boom, but my name on there is Nova AJB. I don't get the correlation, so I just finally went ahead and just pulled the trigger and changed my handle on there. And also, you guys, if you guys ever have any questions on there and you want to DM me, please follow me. I really appreciate it, you guys. Alright, you guys, for that rest of the video, I just want to say before the video ends, I really appreciate you guys' support thus far. It does not go unnoticed at all. We reached the milestone of 100 subscribers and we're climbing beyond that now. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys for that. And when I first started this channel, like I said before, I didn't expect to reach 50 subscribers. So letting them reach well over 100 is awesome to me, and it's very encouraging. So I really appreciate that, you guys. And for those who haven't yet, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. You know, it helps keep me motivated to push my content and keep on improving my videos for you guys and improving the quality and things like that. So yeah, you guys, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you're having a great day, evening, night, whatever you're having. Deuces.